When I was 15, my younger brother and I were left home alone. My younger brother was 13, and I guess our parents figured at that age we were fine to be left home alone while they went out. And honestly, both of us loved it. We would pretty much sit in the basement the whole time, playing the Wii and making ourselves a frozen pizza. I can remember this night almost perfectly. We were playing Mario Kart with those steering wheels you can attach to the Wii remotes. Now, this was back when almost every household had home phones. And so a rule my parents would always have is that we had to keep one of the phones next to us at all times in case they called. We had been home alone and down in the basement for around an hour when the phone went off. I looked at the caller ID and it was one of my friends from school. I picked it up and we started talking, but not even 10 seconds later I could hear breathing through the phone. "Dude, is that you?" I explained to him that it wasn't, and that I could hear it too. It didn't stop, and so eventually my friend just told me he'd call me back later, as it was starting to freak him out. After I put the phone down, I told my brother what just happened. He looked at me, and his face went white. He asked me if it was possible that the sound was coming from our line, as we had a phone on every level of the house. This thought horrified me. I mean, it made sense, but that would mean someone else was in the house and picked up one of the phones either upstairs or on the ground floor. And so of course, both of us got really paranoid and decided to search the house to put our minds at ease. We went upstairs to check the ground floor, but nothing. We then went up another floor, and what we saw left us completely speechless. A man in at least his 60s was standing with his back to us, hunched over the table with the phone. Instinctively, my brother and I looked at each other, turned around and ran as fast as we could out of the house's front door. We went straight to one of our neighbors' houses, slamming on the door and screaming. After they would open it up, as quickly as we could, we told them what we had just witnessed. And without hesitation, they called the police and then our parents. When the police arrived and searched the house, the man was found hiding in a closet near to where we had seen him. All I personally know for sure is that the guy was arrested. Everything else neither me nor my brother were informed of, even to this day. I'm 25 and live alone in an apartment. Well, technically not completely alone. I have a dog named Max. He's great, but I'll often come home from work to find he's broken something, or torn up another part of my living room sofa. It finally got to a point where it was becoming an everyday occurrence, so I figured I had to do something about it. I looked it up online and came across the site that suggested getting your dog new toys. The idea being that it would keep him entertained enough to where he wouldn't cause any damage to the house. And so I tried it, but this didn't really work. I remember one night doing more research on the topic when I came across an ad for this pet camera. It was essentially a tiny camera that would record your pet on a live feed so you can monitor their behavior while you're away. It even had an audio function so that you can talk to them. The idea that this would actually help seemed like a bit of a stretch, but I figured at this point it couldn't hurt. I got overnight shipping and installed the camera immediately. I set it up in the living room to my apartment, as that's where Max spent most of his time. My first day at work, I probably checked the camera a good 20 times. And anytime I caught him scratching up the furniture, I spoke into the microphone, and it actually worked. Max would always stop in response to the noise. It was nice too, cause anytime major movement was detected, I would get a notification, so it wasn't like I had to constantly be looking at my phone. By this point, it had been around a week since I purchased the thing, and it felt like the problem was pretty much solved. But this night is when things went south. I was lying in my bed, just on the edge of falling asleep, when my phone buzzed. It was a notification from the camera. I was almost sure it was some sort of malfunction, but I opened it anyway. What I saw caught me completely off guard. I saw an unknown man in a black hoodie walking around my apartment living room. He was slowly moving around, looking through various items on a shelf I keep next to the front door. Almost instantly, I got out of bed and locked the door to my bedroom. And I guess the guy must have heard me, as when I went back to my bed and checked my phone, the guy was gone, with the front door left wide open. I called the police immediately, and only when they arrived did I unlock my bedroom door. I explained everything I saw to the two officers that arrived, though I had no way of showing them the footage caught on the pet camera, as the thing literally had no feature that allowed you to go back in time and look at previous footage. It only showed a live feed, or at least from what I could tell. But, I mean, I got the thing for like $15 on Amazon, so I guess I got what I paid for. the only thing I could really show them was the notification I got on my phone. And realistically, the most they could do was make a report, and that's what they did. Nothing was stolen, so I guess that's a plus. To this day, I honestly don't know how the intruder got through my front door and into my living room. From what I remember, I had locked the door when I got home from work. But either way, I'm just glad the camera notified me when it did. The way I look at it, there's a good chance that notification saved my life that night.